What is going on, everybody? You can hear us, right? Please, dear God, tell me that you can hear us. Hello?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good.
Hello.
Oh, I gotta flip. Don't do that. Don't do that, Enigma. I need you to also, by the way, flip your camera.
Flip
shit.
yourself, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad, bro. My bad. Flip.
Anyway, while he's doing that, welcome in everybody.
go.
There we go. Unless you wanted to face the wall like you're in
Now,
detention.
now I'm on the
I can
right
get you a
side.
dunce cap.
We got art where Scruffy's just kind of like looking off or whatever side it is. I don't know what side it is now. Well, can I just say as well, like that artwork is so hard to use sometimes because like I have to blow it up or shrink it down, and like your face is just like cut off like right in the middle, and I'm like, why? Why did you do that?
Well, welcome in
It's good
everybody.
art, though.
It is good art. Great art.
Episode 120 is here, and we're live and kicking. And I want to start our show off in a little bit of a different way, right? Normally, you know, we have some, you know, we talk a little bit about a couple different things, but this time I want to start off with answering. I don't know. I don't know. Actually, I should go find it. I have it posted, but I hope the user, whoever you are, is here right now live in our chat, right? Because we do this live, by the way. On YouTube as well as Twitch, Pre-Patch Podcast on both. If you're here, can you please point out who is the skinny hater?
Which one of us is skinny?
Which is the skinny one?
Which one of us is the skinny one?
Because
we need to know.
We got, and for reference for everybody, for anybody that doesn't follow our social medias, which you should, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, all that kind of stuff.
Instagram, YouTube, Facebook,
the tweeters.
If you're a boomer.
One of us got called a skinny hater, and we all are trying to figure out who that is. And it's in regards to our Fallout 76 video. I have to imagine it's got to be I'm the only one that was hating, really, so that's got to be me. But I am far from skinny.
That's what makes it. That's what makes it so confusing. Because I'm like you were really the only one that was hating on it.
And I'm like, is it me? Because like obviously I am a skinny boy. I'm a skinny bro, dude. But I was not hating. I was actually defending, and so I'm like, I was actually giving the game credit for once.
Who knows, man?
Yes. So if it is me, I don't know whether or not to hate you or love you because you called me skinny.
Right.
So, I appreciate the comment. It was
one of those catch 22s, double-edged swords. You'd be like, oh, fuck you, but like then you're calling yourself fat.
Yeah.
Personally, I'd rather be skinny than a hater myself.
I mean, I don't know. I embraced the hate. I kind of embraced my inner Sith. So
I mean, I think a lot of people were all haters in a way, one way or another.
Well,
especially for 76.
If that person is in the chat tonight or watching any of our upcoming VODs, this one you are going to definitely call me a hater because I'm going to come in with some heat. I got some things to say.
That's different. Hater and heater. They're two different things. We need to differentiate, man.
Okay. Right. Well, I'm going to come in with some hate because I'm kind of pissed off right now about some of the stuff that's going on in the industry, which is why the title of this show, episode 120, is F the Industry, because it really did get pretty well effed all the way around. But in any case,
120 episodes, man. That's crazy to me.
Wait,
did you said it last week?
Did you just sneeze and dab at the same fucking time?
I'm glad you all are paying attention.
Man, this was amazing. Oh, by the way, again, off topic. But so on TikTok, I have fallen into like the 90s trend where it's not like anybody talking. It's just like the music of like, remember the 90s? And I don't know. You'd have to, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But like, I've
been on that side of TikTok.
Dude, it shows like all these nostalgic things from the 90s. And I'm just gonna say, man, all you kids nowadays and all the people nowadays that are growing up, y'all didn't have it nearly as good as what we did in the 90s. The 90s was dope.
90s
one
was
of those I just saw,
bro.
Brought back memories with powdered gum. Can you remember the tin of powdered gum?
Oh yeah,
bro. I forgot about that.
I remember those cigarette gum cigarettes. You remember those
candy cigarettes? Yeah,
tasted like ass. No, the gum ones. The gum, like the cigars. Like
the
gum ones.
Yeah,
tasted like ass. But you bought them because cigarettes, bro. Like cool, you looked badass, bro.
Yeah. So anyway,
that's why you bought them.
I don't know where that came from. I don't know why, but yeah, the 90s was just a way better time. for video
was.
games, for
everything.
For life,
everything.
man.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
Really.
I wish I was able to live in it. I lived in the remnants. That's all it was for me.
Well, maybe
He's a
maybe
youngin'.
Elon Musk is Neuralink or whatever else. We can we
Yeah.
can go back in time eventually. I don't know. So
Yeah.
figure it out. All right. Well, let's go forward in time and let's talk about the here and now. Let's talk about video games and games that we've been playing and all of that kind of good stuff. And myself and Scruffy have been playing No Rest for the Wicked. I need to
Yo-yo.
Queue up. I need to queue up the footage here. But I don't think Enigma you have played,
I haven't touched
right?
it yet.
Yeah.
I have it. I haven't played. I've been too stuck in 76. I need to actually play something other than Fallout 76.
Yeah.
No, you
Well,
don't.
let's talk about it. Yeah, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yeah.
I do.
The skinny hater here
game
is
about
speaking.
next
Yes, you
week as
do.
well.
You do. But
Um.
I'm right
so-
there with you too, Enigma.
All right. So No Rest for the Wicked. What No Rest for the Wicked is a it is a top-down isometric. I don't.
Souls-esque.
Well,
It
okay,
is.
but I don't. See, honestly, though, okay.
Souls like just accept it.
Like there's elements of it that like are Souls like, but
Well,
there's
obviously,
also
I'm-
not like it really isn't. It's more of like a Metroidvania than I would say it's a Souls like.
So it's a Metroid like now.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a
we're
Metroid-like.
just coining terms
Well, you know
now.
what I also compared it to was Outward, which is a Souls-like,
Yeah.
but in a survival sense.
I could see that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the only thing about that though is it just because of the cooking element? Like you can cook and
No, I mean, not just. I mean, the cooking and everything.
You-
It was
you wanna
like
know what it looks like
the
to me?
enemies and everything, and like the armor sets and ring sets and all that kind of stuff.
To me, it looks like single player hard Diablo.
The aesthetic, maybe.
I can see
I
it.
don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
maybe.
It looks like single player, actually good and
but it
but
doesn't
difficult
play like
Diablo.
Diablo.
No, yeah,
it doesn't
it's
play like
not a
Diablo, at all.
Yeah, it's
It's just like
definitely not.
maybe just the look. I can give you that.
I really think that like Metroidvania, like if you were to take like Hollow Knight and make it isometric, that's like what this would be, right? Like you have a couple of attacks, you have a block or parry, and then you've got different they added in like the weapons like element and building like this. The little bit of Souls like that I would say is because you have the ability to do different builds, right? You have like a faith build.
What kind of build variety is there?
Well, yeah. So, it goes off of your weapons, and then also, what you there's some RNG elements of like what you found. I don't know, Scruffy, if you found anything that is like magic based. I have not found anything magic based.
Yeah, yes, kind of like runes. There's like runes or something. I think that they can be like on your weapon to give it like different abilities.
Mhm.
But I wasn't high enough level to use those ones that I found yet, so
Yeah.
I'm not totally sure how they work yet.
I mean, it's so I don't. So you have the magic abilities. So you have faith, you have stamina, strength.
Yeah.
Your typical Dark Souls style of leveling, right? You put points into it so you can dodge roll more, attack more, use your stamina
Also, the
more.
weapons
Yeah.
scale with
Scale
those
based off of- right.
yeah, those
Off those
perks, like
stats.
like
So
yeah.
are the weapons, do they actually give you stats as well, or is that
Yep.
just like a move set?
No, they have stats, so they have different like
they have stats. They don't
right,
like give
okay.
you anything. That you can use like certain abilities with the weapons. Like some of them have like a dash or like
Yeah.
you were scrolling over it. Some of them have like a like I was saying there was like a fire one or something, but I just
Yeah.
haven't like gotten to use those yet.
Like we haven't gotten far enough into it to see like if there's something that's like, hey, like give you X amount of, if you dash here. I'm sure that there are things of that nature, but it's your typical action RPG style game that is difficult, that is hard. Kind of in a Metroidvania world. What I've enjoyed about it and why I wanted to show both sides of the footage is because this is Scruffy's footage that you're seeing here. And then in my footage up here, you are seeing. Wait, I gotta switch to Twitch gameplay so it doesn't look weird. You are seeing two different builds. And the thing about it that's I think is really cool is that each person's playthrough is very different in what drops and what's there. So like Scruffy found a chest, and in his chest there was a ring. And then you found like I think like a sword. In my chest, I found this big ass claymore. So our plays are very, very different because the
From the
drops
beginning, too.
are very
Like,
different.
Yeah, like it's straight off the bat. Like nothing
That's
is
interesting.
is going to be the same.
that
pretty
is
I don't
much.
know how
Yeah.
I feel about that. In these types of
like it.
games, I tend to prefer static drops because you know what you're kind of getting into for like subsequent playthroughs. But I guess
That's where the ARPG
the-
kind of comes into
well,
play
the-
a little more here.
the-
Like those
the que-
elements.
The question that I have with that then is like in that case, like are the weapons and the armor and everything like that, do they have like randomized stats and abilities on them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
they
there
do.
you go.
Yeah. It is randomized. So that's the action. That's the action RPG element of like the Diablo style. You know, rolls, god rolls, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's getting some heat. You know, for a couple different things. One of which is exactly that, Bill. Like there are people that are basically kind of saying, and I don't think honestly, I think this is a problem of the marketing
Trailer
and the way the
and the
trailer and
marketing.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like the Souls
Was
community is very much like, hey, like there's a lot of RNG elements in it. It makes like, again, there's people that are really decisively kind of against the whole like, well, it's randomized, and even the monsters. Like there's an area that I went into where there was this big tree looking guy
It's like a
that I
mini
had to
boss
face.
area.
Right. And then in Scruffy's playthrough, he had like this big troll dude. So even that is like RNG.
So
based.
Is that just a
enemy
factor with
placement is crazy.
the early access, or is that like how the finalized game is
I
gonna be?
imagine that's how it's
That's
final.
the
Like
final-
that. Yeah, that's intended.
It's weird, man.
It is. Well, I
it
think-
almost seems like it's like isometric Remnant in that kind of way, minus like
Yeah,
we wanted
actually, I
randomized
think
stats in
that's
Remnant, but
Not too far off.
I'm not sure how I feel about it though.
I know, I
Like,
think,
I would almost rather it be like a static. That might just be me though. It's a
That
matter
might be
of
like the
preference.
Souls
Yeah.
talk,
That's
because
the-
like that's
that-
exactly
that's
like
the
what
Dark
Sid
Souls
was
in you,
saying with
yeah.
like, and everyone's kind of like complaint right now on that front, because exactly like I had the same thought is like from the trailer and going into this, like I'm like, okay, we're getting another Dark Souls type game, but just isometric, you know, like Salt and Sanctuary, but you know, and this time it's top down.
So it's
So,
more Diablo-esque
it's
than
more-
it's
So it is
Dark
Diablo. I
Souls,
was right
yeah.
the first time.
I mean the ARPG elements, yeah, but
Right.
the actual you play the game, it plays nothing like it, like actually.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at it, and
No,
it looks
it's-
kind of like
Looks-
slow, clunky Diablo.
There looks like Diablo.
It's not though, because
I know a Diablo when I see it, and that's a Diablo right there. I tell you what.
I mean it's
Lord have
definitely.
mercy.
Oh my God. It's definitely not. It is from someone that plays Diablo and going into this, like it does not play like Diablo. It does not feel like Diablo.
Yeah.
It feels more akin to, like I said, I wouldn't say as far down the road as like Dark Souls, but it's definitely more akin to a Dark Souls feel than it is a Diablo style, where Diablo, I'm going in, spamming buttons, smashing, you know, abilities, they're going off left and right, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And in this, it is more of like, I've got to watch for the parry, I need to block, I need to roll, I've got to dodge. I'm hoping Scruffy, he just leveled up here, so I'm hoping he's going to go into his stats so you can kind of see that.
Oh yeah.
But
Hopefully.
I actually like the RPG elements here, you know, of it, where you're able to go in and kind of, you know, there is a randomness to it. It makes it to me, it makes it fun. Supposedly, I think they did confirm co-op. This is now you're seeing if you're here live, or watching the VOD. This is the different systems that you can you know, put points into to level up like your faith, your focus, equipment load, intelligence, dexterity, strength, stamina, and health.
Ew.
So
Equipment load in its own stat.
You
Ew.
do have equipment load.
Is
yeah,
that
so
is
like,
that weight? I'm assuming
That's-
that's
that's
like
just-
equipment weight.
that is your character's equipment that they're wearing, the weight of it. So like
Right.
So
heavy armor is gonna weigh you
does-
down. You're gonna have a slow roll.
That's what. Yeah, that was what I was going to ask. Is
yeah,
your
it's got
equipment does
that,
it? Is it
yes,
like Dark Souls where the heavier the
weighs you
equipment,
down,
you
for
know,
sure.
you're just doing like the little
Yeah.
thing that they do.
No, well, you do roll, but it's just like you're like slow motion. It's
right.
kind of weird.
It's a fat roll. I mean, that's what they're called. It's a fat roll.
There you go. Yeah.
But you know, I don't know. Like I like that different element. It's making it fun. Like I said, I think they did confirm, because a dev was in, or one of the people from Leviathan Core, which is the publisher for the game, or marketing arm for the game, is said that they are doing co-op, correct? Like co-op is something that they are looking
co-op
towards.
is coming down the line. They didn't no plan on when that we know of, but it is coming down the line.
I also
one thing that the I think the thing I think I nailed down what I'm conflicted with this is the stats and the way that they want you to level is it makes it feel like it should be a static experience that's like balanced out for any type of build. But honestly, I don't like the randomness with this stat spread because you could effectively build yourself into a corner, and if RNG doesn't want to give you what you need, or you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, I mean, but that's every action RPG in the long run. Like if you don't like take into consideration your future build, you're gonna screw your future build up to a point that
But what if the game just doesn't give you pieces for the build you're
Also,
working?
don't
Like
know
what
if
if you're
there's
going
any
with
way
like a
to
light like a
just-
dex build?
My question on that is like, is this game like a infinite loop? Like, can you go back into this
Also
area?
Don't know. So
Okay.
well, I mean, enemies that I've fought so far have not respawned since.
So yeah, so that would be my only concern with that specific. Like
So-
what Bill was just saying is like if the areas once you've cleared it, there's no
Right.
longer anything there, then yes, that's
there
what they need to
might
work
be
on
like they might respawn after a long time. I'm not sure. I just know like if you look at the map after you've cleared an area, it will mark it as cleared. I also, going off of that, I don't know yet if there is some sort of respec system. I feel like there would be in this.
Yeah.
But
the other thing that
not
I've
sure yet.
heard, I haven't confirmed yet, but I can say that through my gameplay, I have noticed that I think the system is recognizing how you build and then altering your drops that are
So like a
happening in the
smart loop
background.
system.
Right. Like I have not,
sense.
since because I'm going very heavy like strength and stuff like that. And I'm noticing that all of the things that I am getting have been like strength items. Not to say that is 100% the case. I just for sure have.
It's the way I think it should be if they're going to go this route. I think they need to favor whatever build you're going for with
the way it has
these
to be.
random drops.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be because you could build yourself into a corner, and if the game just decides to give you nothing but daggers on the strength build, you're fucked.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that. If it's a smart loot system, I'm about that. That's a good.
Let me tell you what I love about this game. And I didn't know that this was like this, right? When I first jumped in, I thought it was going to be very, because it's from Moon Studios, right? So it's from Ori, which is again, Ori and the Blind Forest. They're known for Metroidvania. That is what Ori is a Metroid style game. And in here, I was expecting a just kind of like you go into a level, you beat that level, and then you move on. And this is an open world-esque. It's not, I mean, open world is light. It's
open zone,
right? It's very like, you know, again, Metroidvania style. But it is one of these things where if you think that you might be able to get somewhere, you can climb, you can get to play. They hide stuff in really cool places.
They hide a lot of cool stuff. We were finding so many secrets, and the kid inside me was just giggling. I loved
absolutely. And like you can, I'm gonna switch back here and go to my gameplay as well, just so you can kind of get different aspects of it. But you can. All of this stuff that you're seeing here, like you can find ways, to kind of clamber your way up and, crawl up on something
and sidle.
Right. Sidle. So you can get up against a wall and kind of like make your way or make a way around
Never
around
heard that word before this game.
And it's just kind of cool. Like you can very much, gamer yourself through things.
That's cool.
And it's really
I would be disappointed if it wouldn't, because that was like the best part of Ori was the exploration factor, in my opinion.
They really did kill it in this game.
Swim.
Not just that but also like the Dark Souls with all the hidden secrets that are in Dark Souls too. So it's like they're kind of melding in both aspects of both games, kind of.
And the smart loot kind of works towards that as well, because anytime you go through this stuff, it's always going to be something worthwhile.
That's like
something
worthy.
That's one of the problems with the static loot system is that once you know where everything's at, it de-incentivizes going for stuff that
that's one of the biggest concerns that I had with it, was like if it wasn't going to be something like Diablo, then that is one thing that I get extremely bored with, is like in Elden Ring, once you've played Elden Ring once, you know where everything's at, and it's there. Or Dark Souls, once you play Dark Souls, you know where to go for the specific build. I've watched you, Bill, so many times where I'm just like, how the fuck is he doing this? And then I'm like, oh well, it's because he's played it like 8 billion fucking times. He knows where everything is.
At least this, you'll have some sort of longevity and like replayability with it in that aspect. So
and that's a different type of replayability than what a random loot pool can give you. It's two different experiences. Exactly. It's two different preferences. So I'm glad that they're leaning into the preference that they have chose.
I'm trying to get to the combat here with one of these bosses, or like mini bosses, so that you can see kind of what it looks like. But you know,
do we know like the variety of like weapons that you can use? Like, is there a decent variety of weapons, or is it mostly just like
I've seen maces, clubs, sword and board, daggers, dual daggers, great swords, axes,
staves.
Want to say there was, what was that?
Staves or staves.
Okay. And then there's focus type weapon as well, and it seems like there's like maybe some sort of magic element with that.
Okay.
Or like
so a decent selection.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's
a lot of different armor types as well.
You know, it is. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Again, it's in early access. I think the co-op is going to be really, really fun and really cool. There are some gripes that I definitely do have. One of which is because of the exploration element, right? Like being able to climb. Like me and Scruffy did this whole, you know, who's going to have the least amount of deaths, right? And we wagered a sub on it. And it started off really great. But then I ended up, you know, being the person that I am, just being like, you know what, I'm gonna try to fucking go to these areas that I probably should not try to get to because it's just not. And like I ended up dying to fall damage
multiple times.
It ended up being like 8-3 or something like that. Deaths.
It was
fall damage.
My
question is the ultimate final boss.
It's brutal. It's brutal.
Yeah.
My question is, why would you put a bet like that on an early access title?
He did die a few times to bugs, but we didn't count those.
Right. Yeah.
He died. And all of his deaths were just due to his own
being dumb,
demise.
Pretty much. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
I feel like it would be hard to judge fall distance in an isometric.
Yeah,
it is. It's and then sometimes it's not even just like it's the movement too, like the jump system. It is kind of touchy. You can just like run to a ledge and your guy will just jump and yeet himself off and you will go flying. It's kind of rough.
Yeah, it's got some elements to it there that are a little
and also going off of the controls and the movement. The game, I haven't tried it, but I heard is virtually unplayable right now on mouse and keyboard. So we were both playing on controllers.
Didn't they axe mouse and keyboard support for?
No,
that's something else.
It's still there. I want to see if I can actually find the.
I was about to say because you definitely begrudgingly picked up a controller if that was the case.
Oh, I did.
I tried.
So here's one of the things. Okay, so real quick, right here, you're seeing the realm. You name your realm, which is odd because I don't know if that's part of like maybe the multiplayer aspect.
That'll be part of the multiplayer. Right? Yeah, I guarantee it.
Or that could be a seed thing. Now that I'm thinking about the randomness.
Yeah, maybe.
That might be seeds.
The multiplayer, the keyboard thing. So one, as you see on my screen, my mouse is always there. Like your mouse pointer is always there, and it's not used for like directional. Like it is just there. Really quite annoying. You can't turn it off. I'm trying to fast forward here to where you can see the control scheme. If you're in chat, I'm skipping ahead a little bit, little by little. But it will it's shortly in here. You will see that it is. Here you go. Right, it's about to happen because I'm right here. I'm getting fucking pissed because of this. Because of my pointer being on the screen. I'm trying to turn it off. But it's insane. Like it makes almost no sense. Like you'd have to be an octopus to be able to play this fucking game on mouse.
Welcome to early access, bud.
So I don't. Yeah, but I don't know.
Early access and possibly even a company or development team that isn't used to developing for mouse and keyboard. So.
Yeah.
Right.
So it is wild. Here we go. There, right there. So that is the control scheme for this game on mouse and keyboard. It's kind of
It's not the worst I've seen. That's honestly not the worst I've seen. Yeah,
it may not look too terrible, but I'm gonna tell you right now, playing it's tough. Like, you know, as someone like
the toggles are really weird, and the shoulder bar. Yeah, okay, I'm seeing where the difficulty comes in.
Yeah, like it's quite frustrating, to be honest. So yep, plugged in a controller, and just said fuck it, I'm playing with mouse or a controller. But no, I don't know, man. I mean, I think the game's getting some hate. You know, it's getting some reviews that are bullshit. You know,
again, welcome to early access.
Yeah, but I think the game is a lot of fun. I don't know what it's necessary. I don't know what it's priced at. Is it $40?
$40. It's on sale for like 35 right now.
I could see 35 being okay. 40, I need to see what the full game looks like. But
yeah, I honestly, if I didn't get the game, you know, through a code, I probably wouldn't pay the 40. But that's just me. That's me not, like you said, not seeing all of the game yet and knowing.
Yeah.
So
it's, again, the trailers did not. Oh god, I looked up. I was like, what the fuck is up in the top left-hand corner? That is a foot cam, by the way. That is not part of the game.
No, actually, it is part of the game. It's implemented.
Is that Zuckerberg's face?
That is Mark Zuckerberg. It's the Zucker rug.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Anyway, I would say if you like Metroidvanias, you like some of the difficulty elements of Souls games, and you like RPGs because it does all of these different elements, I think it's worth 35. I'm having a really good time with it. I plan on continuing to play it. Great Steam Deck game. I've put it on my Steam Deck. It runs fine.
Nice.
And you know,
my only worries,
absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
My only worries is like them. I have a really rough time with companies these days that like make their game single player first and then with the promise of like multiplayer being added in later. 9 times out of 10 that multiplayer is terrible when they add it in, so I'm really worried to see about that. Yeah, because it's an afterthought. Exactly. That's my only worry.
We've seen it a lot.
It looks good. Like honestly, I really do want to get into it and try it out at least, because this seems like right up my alley. It's a Dark Souls game, but it's more Diablo than Dark Souls, and that's I don't do Dark Souls games. So.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Very good at it, so. It's not the easiest, so
no,
you
but it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's I'm having fun with it. And you know,
nice.
I'm excited to see kind of where it goes. So that's No Rest for the Wicked. Again, early access right now on Steam. I think that's it, right? Let me just double check. No Rest for the Wicked. It is on Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox Series X. So you can get it on all of those platforms.
The platforms.
But again, it is early access. So, all right. Well, that is No Rest for the Wicked. Let's talk about something that, oh man. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know why. I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't know if I think Siege has pissed me off a little bit lately. I haven't.
Why? Whoa, what's wrong with Siege?
It's.
You talking shit on our? You talking shit on our son?
No,
on our baby?
He's going back.
It's clearly he's
being the skinny guy, bro. He's being that goddamn skinny guy. Goddamn skinny guy hater.
It's clearly a me issue, right? This has not got anything to do with the game. Yeah, it's a me issue. I know what it. I know like what it is, and that is
is it because you went and played X Defiant and then tried playing Siege and.
No, I knew. I don't know. I took a break from Siege and came back to Siege, and I am not in the best. Like, I don't know what something fucked up, and my shot's off, all that kind of stuff. So it's okay. Like, I'm not blaming Siege, but it did. I was like, dude, I need a game. I need a shooter. I want something. I tried Halo, enjoyed it, but I was like, And so I don't know. I watched Hey Tony start playing Overwatch and do not know fucking why I decided to fucking go into Overwatch 2.
Blizzard,
why'd you do it, bro?
He always has been, always will. It's just part of
you know what it is. You know what it is, and this is so obvious that
Stockholm
it's obvious.
Syndrome is what it is.
No, it's because he's preparing for that Marvel's Overwatch. So this is the closest thing. Yeah, so whenever that game comes out, he's going to be 100% solid.
It's possible.
Sure.
That way he can, for one, support Daddy Blizzard, and for two, get ready for Marvel.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Possible. Are we good? Are we good now? Are we good? Fucking hating on me. So I've got some love. I got some. One, they have backtracked on a lot of shit because obviously they have to. Like the game,
they had to.
Like
yeah.
it was just in such a shit spot. They made it so now, like, you know, they've opened up all the heroes. They made it so you get all the heroes for free out of the gate. They're not locked behind battle passes. They're not locked behind all of that kind of stuff. So yeah.
You mean Blizzard gave us the heroes we already have?
No, well,
anybody after
any new,
Overwatch
right.
1.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Any newer heroes.
Yeah.
They you know, so that's been, you know, curtailed or whatever else and changed. They're still, their pricing is fucking crazy for their and this is coming from a whale, bro. Like
it's inflation,
look at
man.
the Mythics, bro, is nuts.
It's
So like
$80,
$75 plus bucks
yeah,
for a skin.
$80 for a skin.
Those pixels take work to get there, guys. We gotta pay everybody.
What I will say though is that to counteract that, right? They were smart here and going, well, just if you want the mythic stuff, just buy the battle pass and play the game, because you get enough stuff in the battle pass to buy a mythic.
It's a grind though, I've heard. Like it's not and maybe I don't know. I've heard from some people like it takes
I don't know. I mean, I've got up 30 levels
in
3 nights. So it's not bad. I mean, like I said, I went up 30 levels in 3 nights.
Do you get the stuff to get the mythic without buying the battle pass? Like, is there a free track or? Yeah,
no. Not that I know of. I mean, maybe there's something else that you can do to get those mythic, but I seriously doubt it. That is all locked behind that. You know, the battle pass.
You got one way or another. You have to pay.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, they don't have loot boxes. None of that exists or any of that kind of stuff. So here's what I want to fucking, you know, rage about. Right, is the headache that I have gone through to stream this game, right, blows my mind. So I'm going to shed some light. I have a dual PC setup, right? I play on 1440p, 240 hertz or 144. And I stream obviously at, you know, 60 1080p because that's what Twitch will allow, right? 99.9% of other games, no problem, doesn't matter, no screen tearing, no issues. This fucking game,
you're making our podcast screen tear right now, dude.
This fucking game screen tears like a motherfucker, and so I went through hell and back trying to figure out why. And
you have some games that you can't really notice screen tears. They're there, but they're now noticeable. This game, it's like,
it's horrible.
The whole screen is being divided.
Horrible. And the only way to fix it, when I first saw it, the only way to fix this was to play in borderless window mode.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. You know, no big deal. There's a lot of games borderless window actually runs better, all of that kind of stuff. You play borderless window on a dual PC streaming setup. And again, I know this is unique to only people that stream, but if you do this on a dual PC stream setup, right?
And have dual PC.
The stream gets all of the frames. You get dicked. You get dicked on your frames. It'll say that you're streaming at like 240 hertz or 144, whatever else, or like that's what you're getting. You're getting maybe 60 if you're lucky, and that's pushing it.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. You can see the screen tearing right here. It's fucking, this is where I started to lose my mind. And so I'm sitting here trying to go through all these different settings to try to figure out what's going on. So I got so pissed that I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to end the stream. I ended the stream, right? And then I wanted to keep playing. So I kept playing. And then yesterday I was playing some more, and I found this old, it was like 3-year-old thing. Or no, it couldn't have been that old. It had to be 2 years because, or yeah, 2 years maybe, or a year. I don't know. But anyway, found this article, fixed everything. You want to know what the fix is? Go play the game on Steam. You play the game on Steam, and it runs insanely better than what it does on Blizzard's proprietary fucking
actually crazy.
Their own system, their own platform. Borderless window works perfectly fine, right? I get all my frames. You know, I don't have to worry about any of those kind of things. I can change different settings on the Steam version that I couldn't on the Battle.net version. More frames on the Steam version than on the Battle.net version.
Can you download the Steam version and play on your old accounts, or do you have to have a different account?
No, you can link your old account. Yeah. So it just blows my mind of being like, hold on one second. So the Steam version is the better version to play than the fucking
so backwards
Battle.net version.
Welcome to Blizzard.
It's Battle.net, so I'm not really that surprised.
Like it's just wild. My other issues with it is like the game, it's Overwatch. It plays. If you've played Overwatch, you know what Overwatch is, right? And the game, like I have fun with Overwatch. Overwatch is a fun game to play if you enjoy that style.
There it is.
If you enjoy that style, I mean that's true. Like Scruffy, you like Overwatch 1, like you liked Overwatch.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it used to be fun to play.
I mean the only problems that I have with it now is because it is free to play. Like last night, this game you're seeing here, we won every ranked match except for one, I think, or maybe two. Just completely decimated, right? Then last night, myself, Pika, and Lerv played. We got completely trounced, and we lost every single game except for one. And we were playing against people that you could actively see were smurfing. You saw people that were actively cheating, right? With like head glitch, auto aim, whatever, like, all that kind of stuff. It is rampant. Like it is rampantly a problem. And Blizzard,
sure it wasn't just a Soldier 76 ulting? I mean, it's aim hacks.
No, this was like,
yeah,
I was getting
saw them
snapped hit by like some shit. I'm just like, what in the fuck is happening? And so that is a rampant problem. And Blizzard went the opposite way and have like they're trying to ban people, but have banned the wrong people. Like, so the people that are reporting the bans are getting banned.
Leave it to
and
Blizzard.
The cheaters are staying in the game. Like they're not even. It's like an issue. It's a known issue going on right now with Blizzard and this. It just blows me away that this is the state.
I don't know why you're surprised though.
Yeah,
considering that this whole game has been a joke since launch.
I'm not. I didn't say I'm surprised. It just blows me away that that's just the way that it is.
Yeah,
like,
it's
fucking wild, man. I don't know.
It's sad, man. It's a show of a game it once was. Honestly, I can't give it any more credit anymore. It's
I don't know. I mean, I'm having fun with it, which is kind of wild to say.
It is.
But
that's almost as bad as me and Enigma going back to 76.
I was about to say I can't knock you, man. I came on the show last week and said I'm having fun on 76, and you gave me shit for it. So
I mean, to be fair, I did try 76. The skinny hater tried 76. And
played it for a lot longer than I thought you would.
I mean, it's still installed. I could go back to it if I wanted to. It's I don't know. It's all right. I have some gripes about it.
He said
it's fine.
It's all right.
He said it. He said it's fun.
I did not say that. Those words never came out of my mouth at all.
It was basic. I'm paraphrasing. It was basically that.
Yeah,
paraphrasing.
You're adding what he was thinking
into my mouth. Oh man. So anyway, really just that's Overwatch 2. Well, let's continue with the suck. You guys ready to get in the news? Because I'm ready to fucking just start punching shit.
Yeah, you're spicy so far. I'm ready to see how it evolves.
All right. Well, Bill, I'm gonna be this one's for you, buddy. I purposely found this fucking article.
Yeah,
just for Bill.
I heard where it's at.
I heard the news and I was like, I gotta go get it. I gotta go fucking get it. So you guys know who the ESA are?
Explain it for the audience if they don't.
Okay. ESA is the Electronic Software Association. Basically, they are the video game trade, the different industries, different people within that space, right? So you have companies. You're going to have like large organizations, small organizations. It can be comprised of companies like Microsoft. It can be comprised of EA, game devs, all of this kind of stuff, right? It makes up a lot of it's a conglomerate, right? Think of it like the UN of fucking video games, right?
Okay.
And which is actually kind of been a great analogy because the UN we're not going to get into politics anyway. All right, so
what did the ESA do?
ESA, bro, they basically openly came out and said that they are not going to support the preservations of old video games online within like the Library of Congress or just libraries in general. They are going to block it and are refusing potential modifications that would make it so that libraries can have old games in their like digital versions of their old games there as for people to play and experience and whatever else. In fact, their exact words are, that would be much like an online arcade, and we are not okay with that. Like,
Why?
I mean, this is strictly just like libraries, right? They're not stating that they don't want people to preserve old games. They're just stating that they don't want these games to be in libraries, right? Like public libraries.
Yeah, but do you really think that they're gonna just stop at libraries and just be like, oh no, you know what? Little Bill over here who's starting a business and just is gonna have like, video games being no, fuck, what do you no, they're not.
I'm just stating we don't have fucking like old videos, like old like movies in libraries. Like it makes sense to me why they wouldn't want video games to be in a library.
Yes, you do.
You don't.
What do you mean?
You don't have video like old
not every single one, but you absolutely
library.
Do. My library,
what the fuck are you talking about?
My library,
I can go enter a library where I can go, hey, librarian, can I go in there and get fucking?
Why are we talking about real libraries? I didn't think that was what they were actually talking about with the conversation.
I also thought
that's what I thought.
Is this online
libraries?
I thought it was
just like digital libraries, as in like digital collections.
What I got from it is like the Internet Archive, like that website. Is that something like this? Like
this is physical libraries, like legit physical libraries.
Okay.
Like physical libraries are in what is physical libraries is what kicked this off. Now, whether or not they have gone to say digital libraries as well, physical libraries is what kicked all of this off. Because you can Enigma, like I can go into my library right now and rent movies, or get movies.
You've got a great library. Then I've never entered a library where I could be like, hey librarian, can I get that old copy of?
They don't have every movie ever. Like I can't go in there and just watch every movie, but they do have movies and videos digitally and or physical copies that I am able to go and watch.
I'm curious to see what kind of libraries Enigma goes to.
Right? Is this something just?
He goes to the ones with the beads, and you got to go in the back
and
shut the door.
Wow. Okay. I've never been to a library before that
doesn't have old movies.
Yeah. It's books. That's what a library is there for.
I don't know. No, I have.
Okay. All of my libraries. My mom was a librarian. We always would get old movies and games. I used to get old.
I guess it's
PC games.
I guess it's just me.
Yeah, dude. Like
no, absolutely.
That is definitely just a you thing.
Sorry, it's again the whole premise of what kicked this start off was the physical physical locations. And it says right here, like the AACS, which also opposes the exemption, also had a problem with the suggestion that the access could be restricted to libraries with a physical location. Anybody can have a mailing address, said the AACS attorney, in support of the ESA's objections when it comes to checking the boxes when it comes to just checking boxes as opposed to having anything verified. I would have concerns. It's not clear physical premises will actually be effective. Again, so like I said, I mean, this is, if they are in fact also talking about digital libraries, this is the exact thing that I am talking about. Like they are going to overreach on this and say no.
Yeah.
And
if they're gonna make it so that they can't, like, digital libraries can't be upheld and so like those information, then yeah, fuck that.
So have they gave a reason as to why they're coming after these libraries?
They want fucking money, bro. They want to be able to.
That literally,
so their argument is that people are going to lie, like which I don't even fucking get. I don't know. Like they're basically saying that people are going to lie, then they're going to get the games or have digital access, and they're going to hack them and break them and send them out to the world and let everybody. Digital piracy is going to run rampant. It's the same fucking war on drugs that we have been calling.
It's already running rampant.
Like against marijuana for fucking ever. Like
it's just not even just marijuana. This is the same. This is the same argument that they've been lobbying for since 2006 for internet piracy, like I was gonna say, video game piracy, movie piracy.
There's no way, like if that's what they're fighting, this is not going to stop internet piracy whatsoever, or game piracy, any media piracy. Nothing is going to stop that.
Stop piracy.
Exactly, nothing.
Pirates gone pirate.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
if anything, I think this is gonna probably egg them on more. They're just gonna be like, all right, cool, we're gonna watch it fucking burn.
This
time to just archive your own things. Exactly.
Yeah,
no sense at all.
I mean, this is dystopian future that
some
Bill
sort of control, like some sort of monopoly over like these old media, like, but like what they're not. It's not like they're holding it anywhere. They're just saying you can't, like people like
no,
places,
they're
can't hold
basically
it.
saying that that other places can't hold it. And here's the thing that will never come out. It'll never be said, and it's going to give a bunch of bullshit reasons. It solely comes down to because of money. They want to be able to like right now, if you were
Have
to
control.
go, if they do open it up to, let's just say physical libraries, right? Because that's what, like I said, kicked this off. And I know that they are talking about with the Library of Congress and things of that nature. If they're just talking about physically going into those spaces, right? Things like the Nintendo game, like where you can go and you can purchase, like they upload their old games. And we're going to talk about Nintendo and their fuckery in later on in the show. But all of that kind of shit, right? They're basically going to be like, well, we're going to lose money because everybody's going to be able to go there. Like the asinine greed that comes out of this is just absolutely ridiculous. The thought that they are physically going to, they are so worried about what is the maximum that they could possibly lose? Like realistically possibly lose out of this. Like,
again, it's the same argument that they've been trying to push for years. Like we've had these same arguments since like 2006, 2005, when they were like, don't pirate, music is terror. If you pirate music, you're gonna go to jail for like 13 years,
videos, bro.
But like nobody gave a fuck. Everybody was like, and in fact, there was studies that came out that stated that there is less people that pirate than there are, like there's the worry of like pirating software or pirating music. There's more people out there that will go out and just purchase whatever because it's easier rather than having to figure out how to, because having to figure out how to pirate all this software, all this music, all this.
Bro, I remember the days of
is
downloading
ridiculous.
from BMP3 like songs like Jason Derulo and
I remember
shit.
Napster, dude.
And
I remember
putting them on a Napster and putting them on a SD card and then plugging that SD card into my flip phone. Dude, that was the shit.
It's this again. It's the same rigmarole. It's the same song and dance that we've had, and they're just recycling it and recycling it and recycling it because that's all that government knows how to do, unfortunately.
Oh, well, the thing is, this isn't even the fucking government. The government's actually the one being like, we should put this in the Library of Congress, because it's history. And the fucking private industry is going, no.
Yeah.
And
well, that's
because they want everything to go digital. They have the access to the only digital libraries, and then they can charge whatever they want and revoke access to it whenever they want.
It's definitely a control thing.
We've seen it recently with like Ubisoft and another
Crew pulling the crew from people's libraries.
Not just the crew, but what was it? Was it Assassin's Creed that they did as well, where you could just no longer had access to it? We'll be talking about something later as well for the exact same thing too. So
it's I don't know, man. I mean, again, the four of us on this show have butted heads, gone back and forth, talking about digital versus physical and kind of where the future is, and though we have butted heads about where things are going to go, we are all in agreement that this is it should still be accessible to people.
So one thing I want to reiterate on is like, I don't think that we've ever butted heads on like the fact that these things do need to be preserved.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? None of us. We've all agreed that we need to preserve this shit.
Right.
Like,
I just don't want to be called I don't want to be called a fat hater or the hater in gray or the fucking the bearded hater.
Hey, well, the hater in gray actually sounds kind of cool. I would use that as a
Let's get
like Gandalf the Grey, but the hater in gray.
Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, this is just suck. Like this is just a suck shit way of doing things. And the ESA should be fucking completely demolished and not even a fucking thing. Like
Bill has been saying it for a long time that this is what the companies want. They want to have control over your access to what you technically own. And the only reason why I go technically is because at the moment you don't really own anything. Yeah,
you don't really own
days,
it.
Not even
physical.
Yeah, but even physical copies, we've said like they still digitally lock that shit with keys, man.
Well,
depends on the game, depends on the
that's what I'm saying.
Depends on the developers.
They still have the ability to lock that shit.
Some you do, some you don't.
Like it's still fucked.
It's
either way. Well, let's move on to more fuckery. How about Sony, right? This time, literally talking about exactly what we just said. Sony is shutting down Little Big Planet 3 servers and officially shutting indefinitely and removing access to all player-made content. Like the only thing that you have access to is just
that game is all player-made content.
That's what I was gonna say. If you know anything,
Little Big Planet.
If you know anything about Little Big Planet, like that's what they were built off of, pretty much. Like that was the entire like draw to people.
That was Mario Maker before Mario Maker.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But yeah, they're basically stating that like they're going to be shutting it down. It made me laugh because one of the statements from them was like, well, you'll no longer have access to new player-made content. But if you have player-made content on there already, you'll still have access to that. You just won't be able to get any of any content that you haven't already downloaded is gone.
That's just
so download your favorite maps. And
I guess you better go buy a 3 terabyte hard drive and just start downloading everything off their fucking
right.
But how much you want to bet? How much you want to fucking bet that when they shut these servers down, that those modes need something. They need some type of fucking communication,
some online
service to work.
Yeah. At least some of them. Yeah.
And it won't. It just won't. Like. So
there's a big uproar on this, and
I wouldn't be surprised if they backpedal on it.
I was gonna say, do you think so? That was my question.
I don't know, because like they didn't backtrack on the PS. What was it recently that we were talking about? Was it the PSP library and the PlayStation? There was something recently.
It was one of the. I think it was the PSP store, right?
I think it was.
It was the Vita.
The Vita, that was it.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
They didn't backtrack on that, so I'm not entirely sure. Maybe they will if there's enough of an uproar, but I don't think that Little Big Planet has enough.
I don't know if it'll.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Which is sad.
It is.
Which is extremely sad because again, like you said, that's the Little Big Planet is built entirely off of user-made content.
Mm-hmm.
So
the game is really not a game anymore without the community-made content.
Yeah, this is. I'm just reading through the article that IGN posted, and it's crazy because Little Big Planet 3 is the only way that you're able to access Little Big Planet 1 and 2 content.
Yeah.
Because they shut down the fucking servers for Little Big Planet 1 and 2.
I didn't even know that.
And so now you're just losing.
Well, that's
all that
again. That's why Little Big Planet was so popular, was because they just ported that shit over to Little Big Planet. All the old maps, all the old content that you had from Little Big Planet 1 and 2, you could play on Little Big Planet 3.
You would have thought you would have thought you'd been safe with Little Big Planet 3, having everything from the previous games, and that's just gonna be it. And then they go ahead and pull the plug on that. Like it's.
I'm curious if maybe this is like. This is being hopeful. This is being extremely hopeful. But like maybe this is them being like, hey, we're making Little Big Planet 4, and it's going to be exactly like Little Big Planet 3. But I don't know. That's going off on it. Yeah, that's going off.
Do make Little Big Planet 4 and then pull everything from the last 3 games.
But like even if they are making Little Big Planet 4 and they're going to be doing the exact same thing, why shut the fucking servers down until you actually have the game
only on PlayStation 4, or is it? Because it says the servers on PlayStation 4. Are they?
I don't know.
Doesn't anything about PlayStation 5.
I don't know. I mean, regardless, it doesn't matter. Even if the servers go offline, the servers go offline. It's not.
I wasn't sure if it was just PlayStation 4 servers or the game servers in general.
No, I mean it's
PS3 and PS4. Yeah, there's no PS5 version of Little Big
Planet. There is no PS5. That's why they stated that. Okay.
Maybe they'll make a PS5 version and they'll charge for that. Oh man,
is it backwards compatible? Like either way, regardless of how you look at it, it's still gonna.
It wouldn't matter. You couldn't play it regardless. Here's the even more craziness to it is that the servers went down temporarily in January, and the company said, "Oh, this is only temporary. Like no, don't worry, we're coming back." And then they come back for 2 months, and then fucking you're like, yeah, this is permanent. We're just gonna go ahead and all this. Oh man, dude, woo. It's
one question that I have for you guys with this as well is like, if this is the case, and like if that is the case, and they shut it down, and they were intending to bring it back, Do you think maybe this has something to do with the fact that like Sony isn't really in a very good financial state right now, and maybe they basically were like, "Hey, we don't have the money to bring your servers back online." Basically,
I can't imagine.
I don't think that has anything to do with
you're
it.
too tiny. You don't think so? Yeah.
I don't know. No, I just think this is somebody
That
somewhere
was just
number
right there.
crunched
That
and was
was-
like, oh well. I think it was more the other way. They're just kind of like, oh,
downtime.
it
Was
very
a
well
test.
could have been.
Yeah.
It very well could have been the actual developer was just like, we'll just fucking
or
get rid
or
of
like
it,
I
but-
said, they're gonna be like, you know what? Like, because again, if you read further down in the article, right, PlayStation 3 players lost access to the content after Sony moved to shut down PlayStation 3 servers for Little Big Planet 1, 2, and 3 in 2021, and then the PS4 version of the game came out, and now you've got right. Like it. I have to believe that the fucking, I don't know, like.
You think they'll make a PlayStation 5
Dude.
version?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'll make Little Big Planet
Sony-
4 and make it all backwards
It-
compatible and force you to buy that shit.
So it would make sense, right? But it just being quiet about it and just shutting the servers down like this is not a good look. Like you're gonna have a lot of backlash and hate from this. So
Yeah,
if that's their
Sony-
their intention, why not just say it?
So Sony boasted that the game featured more than 10 million levels.
Yeah, all community made.
Dude,
levels.
the person
That's
that decided this should
crazy,
get
dude.
fired. I'm sorry. Like I
10
you know,
million
I am
levels
not
down the
for
drain.
like, you know, letting, you know, the all the cuts and all the stuff that we've seen in this game industry. But these kind of bad decisions should not be rewarded with anything other than just a fucking like termination letter of being
Yeah.
like, you dumbass,
Yeah,
you're done. Like
and then
whoever it
all the CEOs get their bonuses this year for the.
Yep. Well, let's keep the gravy train
The
rolling here on shit that's
Keep the
getting
hate going.
shut fucking down and removed. So let's talk about this small little game called Gary's Mod. You guys know about this? You guys ever heard about this? This little
Never
this
heard
little
of it.
thing?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Never heard of it.
How about this? So I do
this
feel
is the Skibbity game, right? The
Yeah,
Skibbity,
get
Skibbity
Get
twirly game.
out
Yeah.
of here, bro.
Yeah,
Good God.
Don't.
so I actually, I know this is gonna come a shock. Like I actually feel bad for this very small developer. Not a lot is, you know, the small team, very small team. They don't make a lot of
Feel
money.
bad for Gary.
It's no Nintendo. Like I feel bad for them. Like they don't, you know, that's the small guy in the fight. Is
course, yeah.
you know, I feel bad for them. Gary's Mod is now removing 20 years worth of Nintendo related items from its Steam workshop because of a
Best-
takedown request from
you
Best
Steam.
gaming
know-
franchise ever.
That is going to be so many workshop items to remove.
Mhm.
And they're even going and asking like the creators, hey, if you've made any Nintendo related stuff, could you please for us take it down and not make any more? Because that's how much 20 years plus of Nintendo related content there is. I'm sure it's within, you know, the millions upon millions. It's crazy.
But you know,
Yep.
they deserved it because Nintendo is the best gaming company in the world, and they
You
make the
should-
best consoles.
He can actually show the support.
I can't
live.
see.
Wow.
Can't-
Look, it's right
I'm
there.
Enigma, I'm gonna offer you a one-time deal. I will pay you $100 right now if you take that thing and chuck it up against your wall.
No,
Throw
I'm
that
good.
piece of shit into against the wall.
You know what?
No,
I
it's-
want you, Enigma. I want you to pull your pants down and let's see that Nintendo brand on your ass because I know
Okay.
they got you.
No, that's
Live.
you gotta no. That's my OnlyFans account, bro. You gotta give it that.
Be careful, man. They're gonna fucking make you take down your ass. They're gonna.
But no, dude,
They're like, we
real
own
talk.
this asset.
Real
Oh,
talk. Yeah, no, it's crazy that they're that bad off, and that's something that's annoyed me about Nintendo for a long time is like they are ravenous when it comes
Oh,
to
yeah.
like copyright infringement and everything like that. And I'm just like, you guys,
They are a
like
calamity.
you guys make. I
when
think
it
you guys
comes to
make
this
enough
shit.
money. Like I'm pretty sure you guys are good. Like chill the fuck out.
Well,
I never understand like things like this. Like, what is it hurting? It's not hurting anybody. If somebody wants to go play a Nintendo game, it's not like, oh, hey, I have my Switch, or you know what? Rather, I'm gonna play that one Nintendo themed map on Gary's Mod because that's
Yeah, I
a
was
better
about
quality.
to say there's no
Yeah.
way that they
Wait, what?
legitimately think they're
Like,
losing business
yeah,
or anything.
If anything,
by
they're
these
getting
types of things
publicity. You
existing.
know, like it just makes no sense.
so I'm gonna read you a very specific part of this article, right? That is coming from PC Gamer, by the way. So All right. Earlier this year, Nintendo sued the makers of the Nintendo Switch emulator, which we talked about, Yuzu.
Yeah, we
right?
talked about it. Yep.
Forcing them and sticking them with a $2.4 million bill. Okay, so there's 2.4 million against Yuzu.
We didn't
right?
know that. Wow,
So,
that's crazy.
yeah.
I don't think that we knew that.
No.
We knew that they had given in, but and I think that we said that as well, that it was probably they got stuck with a pretty decent sized
$2.4 million, right? Now let's go back
to how quickly they folded.
Let's go back again. They also hit Gary Bowser with Gary Bowser with a $14.5 million. This is one single dude. $14.5 million financial.
Did they hit him because his last name is Bowser?
No. This was the dude this was the guy that they basically he spent a year in federal prison. And he was selling basically a way around, like jailbroken ways to get Switch. So I understand that a little bit.
Do you think they're coming after Gary's mod now because they're confusing? They think that Gary Bowser made Gary's mod, or like
no? Because in January they also went after Valve and ordered them to go after Portal 64, which is a popular Portal demake for the Nintendo 64. Portal 64 maker James Labert basically said that Valve is begging them, basically begged him to take the project down and demand, because of the demand on Nintendo's proprietary libraries, and stated, I think Valve just didn't want to be tied up in a project involving Nintendo IP.
That is wild, dude.
The fact that it's a game that's not even your own IP, but is like simulating a graphical style to your hardware.
Yep.
It's Nintendo, dude. Like I totally again.
Do they have
a
trademark on the 64 brand? Like, could a rename of fix this at the end of the day?
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. That's probably a rename,
is it just
or at
because
least
64 was in the title?
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't go. I don't know. Let me take a look here at this article real quick, and I will give you.
I can't imagine it'd be that easy.
Yeah, my question is: do you think maybe because they're focusing on Steam? Do you think maybe it's a little bit of a? They think that they might be in competition with that here pretty quickly.
The Steam Deck
with the Steam Deck, yeah.
You gotta say it, not just hold it up. I know you have a camera now.
My bad. Do you think that they might be in contention with the Steam Deck? This thing right here. See it?
Yeah.
I have a camera now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm researching this article, and I'm researching the whole Portal 64 thing. And when you guys are done with your thought, I'm gonna talk to you about this because this is fucking crazy.
You're saying all of this stuff being on Steam is in direct competition with their handheld as well?
I'm saying that. Do you think it's possible that maybe they're seeing that because Steam has a handheld now that's in direct competition with?
That's what I'm saying.
Do you think that maybe them looking at it like, hey, they're essentially doing what we do, and they're essentially we don't want that to be the case. We don't want that to be on a competing.
I don't. I think you're thinking too far into it. Honestly, I think it really in the end is just Nintendo coming after anything that has their name or any likeness on it.
I mean, they go after.
I can agree with
they go after fucking cosplayers.
No,
they go after live streamers. Like
I'm just being the devil's advocate, and that's a direct correlation that I'm thinking is like maybe they're starting to see that Steam maybe is a little bit of a competition for them.
So all right, let me tell you about this Portal 64 because dude, it's fucking wild. Okay, so Portal 64 was being it was a fan-made effort to bring Valve's Portal, right, to the 1996 Nintendo console. So he wasn't even I don't know if he was selling it, because it doesn't say in here about like there was a cost to it or anything of that nature. I'm trying to see if it'll.
So wait, they were trying to port Portal onto the N64.
They were trying to
demake Portal.
They wanted it to run on the authentic hardware.
So it was being brought. It was being brought to just play solely on the Nintendo 64.
That makes no fucking sense.
And they told him he had to stop.
At least I could understand if it was like them porting an N64 title over to something else, but they're literally porting a game to an old fucking like a console that doesn't even exist anymore.
Right.
He wasn't even making he wasn't even charging for it.
Yeah,
it was solely a fan project that
because
the dude
it infringes on Nintendo's.
And then they went after they went after Valve because it was Portal, and Valve's going
Nintendo's.
We didn't do this. We didn't consent to anything.
No, they're
literally.
But we're chill with it.
They're unhappy about them porting it over to a Nintendo console that does not exist and is no longer in circulation. That's what kicks me. That's what
30
gets me.
fucking years old.
Like there's.
Right? 30
nobody is put like I shouldn't say that. There's probably a lot of people that play.
If anything, that could have got them some sales. Be like, dude who doesn't have an N64. We're like, oh, there's a demake for Portal on the N64. I got to go buy one of those.
Like,
I mean,
it's fucking wild to see. They didn't. They didn't charge for the fucking game. Yeah. This is not even a Nintendo property, other than the console that it's fucking on. So at this point, you are literally saying, "Don't develop for my shit." Like, if you develop for my game, for my console, I'm gonna sue you.
That is wild, dude. Considering, so we've had projects like this in the past with like the
look at Bloodborne's demake.
I was about to say the Bloodborne demake that was on authentic PS2 emulated hardware. Sony didn't have a problem with it.
Sony's never really had a problem with emulators, have they? They've never really gone against emulators, have they?
No, they don't care.
They're usually they're usually pretty pro emulate. It's literally
when it comes to Nintendo, when it comes to emulators, it's really just Nintendo.
This is wild to me, dude. This rabbit hole that I am in now is just nuts.
There's being said in the chat,
in the Nintendo rabbit hole.
Oh no, one of the articles I found on here was that they sued a cosplayer who
I remember that one.
Went to E3, right?
Yep.
Took pictures, it was broadcasted that they made a tip, and then Nintendo sued them for $1.2 million. Or no, for defamation of character, because they said that the character, like, they did Princess Peach, but they did a
bad Princess Peach,
a more sexier version, more sexier version of Princess Peach. So it's a defamation of character. It's a defamation of a fucking digital video game character. Like, come on.
Do we have any evidence of the sexy Princess Peach that we
can go search it on your own? I'm not bringing that up on the podcast.
Science, bro. Just research.
Yeah, I'll let you.
So from what I'm seeing here, the only thing that Sony's ever done as far as emulation goes is, you remember that Bloodborne kart game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did ask for them to change the name on it from Bloodborne. But they didn't shut down the project. They just requested them to change the name, and make it that legally distinct.
Totally fair, honestly. If you want to go ahead and
so it's Nightmare
just
Kart
ask them. Yeah, if you just ask them to change the name, that's fine. But going ahead and totally shutting something down,
that's
again,
what's in this situation.
It's Nintendo, man.
In this situation, they can't. Nintendo doesn't even have the rights to do that because it's not even their fucking game.
It's not even their game. Yeah, I don't understand it, dude. It's like being said in chat. It's unfortunate, but unfortunately, Nintendo does at the end of the day have the right to do it. Not that it's right. Hold on. That's actually false, because they don't have the right in this situation. In this situation, that is not their game. They don't have the right to shut that down. They don't. That's not Portal. So Valve could be the one that says, "Hey, take it down."
Technically, they do, because it's on their hardware.
It's on their hardware.
It's the same way for them to ban people from modifying like switches and stuff. They have the rights to their hardware and having it not modified if they don't want it to be.
Because the hardware is God.
Well, what's hold on. Well, what's the definition of the hardware? Because it's technically software that he's using to build a game that he is then putting onto that is playable on Nintendo 64. He's not modifying the Nintendo 64. He's not.
It's still using.
Well, I mean, Nintendo 64's cartridges were unique too.
I would imagine that he probably is having to go in and look at like the interiors and then how the N64 would be able to handle it. So it's very possible that he is actually editing, or at least in some way taking apart like an N64 to do it.
That's a far reach. I'm just saying.
I don't agree.
I
don't agree.
A far reach, honestly.
I'm just stating a fact, and so is the chat. They're just stating the fact that like technically Nintendo does have the right to do it if you're altering something that's on their specific hardware. So
right,
especially if you're making the game
not
through
that it's
like
right.
an emulated source that uses the N64 hardware, because we know how they are about that. So
well, I guess
not that it's right at all. I
guess that screws our plan to do the demake of the pre-patch podcast on the Nintendo. We were going to do a pre-patch podcast demake 64 version that you could play on the SNES, but then port it over to the original GameCube and play with the Virtual Boy. So I guess that fucks all that.
And if you pre-ordered it, it would have been on the Game Boy Color too.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
And you would have gotten the Skinny Boy Hater skin for.
Well, you had to pay it extra. You had to pay $110 for that one. That's
but unless you got the Battle Pass.
Yeah, unless you got the Battle Pass.
But then we're going to shut down the server, so you weren't going to be able to play it anyway. So it's okay. Don't worry about it.
All right, let's move on.
Okay. Well, let's maybe we can talk about something that's a little bit actually good that happened in the industry. So do you guys remember net neutrality, like the whole thing that
I remember all that shit.
So they are reversing net neutrality, right? Or I guess restoring it, right, to make it so that ISP providers can no longer have the ability to throttle your shit just out of the blue. So I like
wait.
Right, like
really?
I'm pretty sure that this is because I had to go look. I was like, hold on one second, because I thought net neutrality was bad.
I didn't. And well, no. The original net neutrality is bad. Like what the going up against it, what they wanted to go up against, like the whole issue originally, what they wanted with net neutrality was to go against net neutrality. That's why people didn't like the FCC and the net neutrality, is because they were trying to do that, not because they wanted. Not because people didn't want neutrality on the internet. That wasn't the case. But yeah,
right. But I
didn't even know they had passed that.
Yeah, that passed back. Well, okay, so it's kicked off with the Obama era, right? Like or around that time, right? And it then Trump came in and basically said, yeah, no, fuck that. We're gonna basically give the ISP providers the ability to throttle your shit and control everything, whatever else.
Passed it.
And then today, it passed on a 3-2 vote to basically restore back net neutrality, saying no, you can't fucking throttle the internet based on whatever reason that you so choose.
So this is like directly going to affect like internet provider services like Spectrum and AT&T,
ISPs,
it's gonna
maybe you can finally get your internet again.
So
it's going to make it so that essentially they when they're looking at your when they're looking at your activity, they can't be like, well, you're using up too much,
you're using up too much, we're gonna take that shit away from you.
Or the fact that like if there's something like a criminal investigation,
so maybe that honestly is
police
why
can't now go to your ISP and be like, hey,
in the last couple years. Yeah, honestly, in just the last couple of years, my internet has been complete shit because I have been getting throttled, and that makes so much more sense that was passed, and I didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
So now this should hopefully fix that.
And we don't get to say this very often, but kudos to the government. They actually did something.
Doing something right.
Doing work.
I can't remember the dude's name.
It's in the article. Are you talking about the dude that the fuckhead that
the original guy that
the FCC chair, Ajit Pai? Yeah.
Ajit, that's it. Yeah. Dude was an asshole, man. Dude was a dick.
Or Ajit. I don't know what his name is. Ajit or whatever.
Fuck that guy, dude. He was a dick. And like whenever he would come on and talk about it, his entire demeanor and the way that he acted, you could just tell that
his tone was so fucking ignorant and
it's funny though that this still only passed by a 3-2 margin. Like it was still one of those things where
it was still a huge debate.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously this comes off of this is also coming right off of the news of like, the TikTok. We're not gonna go into politics, but the TikTok ban did go through. TikTok has until January. ByteDance, which is the owners of TikTok, have until January 2025 to sell off The
apparently
part
they're
of
looking into they're looking into selling off the TikTok platform, but not the algorithm.
That was false. That's the thing, though. That's false. That was deemed false. It was a rumor. It was not true.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. It was. I know what you're talking about. I saw the article, and then it was.
That's what I saw.
It came out that it was not true. Yeah. So.
Gotcha.
But
that's what I know that the TikTok like the owner or whatever came out and did like a video that was like trying to rally people to their cause or something like that.
Yeah. So
interesting to see.
Yeah. The bigger thing around that, and again, like I said, we're not going to go into the political side of stuff, but the bigger thing about that ban is more or less like what a lot of content creators, streamers, gamers, and people are kind of saying is like, this gives overarching power to the federal government to shut down anybody that spews information that they deem to be harmful. On this podcast, they could literally come in and be like, you know what? Kill the pre-patch podcast.
We
like Nintendo because they let
we would be shut down.
Yeah. So it's kind of just kind of scary things. But net neutrality is restored, so that's good. All right. This is something that Enigma wanted to talk about last week, and we didn't get a chance to talk about it this week or last week. So we are going to talk about it now, which is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I don't know why I have the worst time remembering this fucking game's name.
Yeah, man, it's I don't know why we're doing a full segment about it. I just want to do a quick hits about it. But yeah, it's
Enigma, give us a full segment worth of
Kingdom
Come Deliverance. Come on,
I mean, I could if you wanted me to. The original Kingdom Come Deliver It. That was funny. Sorry.
What?
Yeah, the original King. You said Deliver It. I said Kingdom Come Deliver It. So.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, I've lost
Kingdom Come Deliverance was a game that was made by, I think it's Warhorse, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just make sure. So something like that.
It's Warhorse.
Made by they were originally not really a really known developer when they first made it. They've since then become a really decent or at least well-known developer inside of the the realistic medieval like fantasy RPG systems, right? Kingdom Come Deliverance was the first. I wouldn't say it's the first. It was a more popularized RPG that came out 5-6 years ago, sometime like that. That had a combat or like a directional based combat to it, and very very realistic, very very hardcore, very realistic. I think honestly, Bill. Like I think you would actually enjoy this quite a bit because it is very hardcore. It does have a lot of aspects to me that felt very Dark Souls-esque when it comes down to like the combats just being very unforgiving and very like skill oriented. Like you have to be pretty decent with the combat in order to do well in it, or else you're just going to get wrecked pretty much. But yeah, they released a secondary portion, or they were going to be releasing a second game. Looks pretty decent to me. I mean, we haven't seen any gameplay. Obviously, this is just cinematic teasers. But if it's anything like the original, it'll be pretty decent. I mean, it's going to be a pretty game. I wouldn't say it's probably not going to run very well because Kingdom Come Deliverance doesn't run very well on anybody's PC unless you have like a powerhouse like Sin.
Unless you're Sin, yeah.
Yeah.
Stop hating.
What
is this a RP? What is it? RPG? Is it?
It is an RPG. Yep. Yeah. It's an open world RPG with directional combat.
It's like Uber survival. RPG too. Like
it is. Yeah. Survival mechanics. So you have like sleep that you have to do. You have eating, hunger, thirst systems. You've got morality systems, if I remember correctly. Like not morality. What is it? Faction systems that you have to balance.
Wow,
like that.
Chat is saying that if Dragon's Dogma 2 has friction, Kingdom Come has even more. So this is like even more like. Oh, okay.
Friction.
Yep.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Dragon's Dogma 2 got some heat because it's just tough. Like it's old school style of
this game. Not just that as well, but like this game got a lot of hate for it's extremely realistic. It's set in, I believe, I don't quote me on this, but it's like Denmark or somewhere around there. Yeah. I can't remember exactly where.
That's what I meant. Like it's like a real RPG. White. Like it's not it's not like a fantasy RPG or anything. It's like a brutal medieval RPG.
Yeah, it's very realistic. The realism in it is insane.
I
The
gotcha
combat
now.
in it, you have to like again, the skill-based system for the
You can
combat.
pet the dog.
You have to know what the hell you're
That's
doing
pretty
when it
sick.
comes to combat. It's not very forgiving when it comes to combat and such. So
No.
but yeah, again, like I said, I didn't really mean it to be a full thing. It was mostly just to be supposed to be, hey, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 got announced. Here's it. Hopefully we find out more about it.
Now transition us out, bro.
Transition us out. Okay, well here you go. So that was
thank you for that, though.
that was the good. I hope you enjoyed that segment of the good things in the show and all the good news, because now we're back right into the fucking suck of it. Let's talk about Fallout 4 and their new fucking update and what they did to the fucking gamers.
You really love using suck as a
the whole entire show. This whole entire show, the fucking video game industry is just suck the fun out of everything.
It
should have been episode 120 suck.
Yeah, it just sucks, bro. Fucking sucks, bro. It's just bullshit.
All right, dude, what a shit show this has been, though. I mean, something that I wouldn't even say people were necessarily. Or there has been some people who asked for the new gen update for Fallout, sure, but not in the way that they kind of delivered it. It really has not been great. I mean,
so run me through it, because like I was interested in playing this. I haven't kept up with it. Like I haven't read anything about it. I know that I've seen briefly something
on what this update was supposed to add, and really it adds more fidelity, more 40K 60 FPS.
40K, holy shit! We just jumped all the way to 40K, huh?
Sorry,
we're going Warhammer mode.
60 FPS.
God damn, I don't even know if my rig can handle 40K. Holy shit!
Bug fixes, and then even going ahead and adding some like new content, like minor armor sets and some guns. Like I'm not talking a lot, like 3 new content items. So that was pretty much the gist of what this update was supposed to do, and give it, of course, that new gen fidelity. But just the way that it's been launched has not been great. A lot of the bugs that shocker here that were there before are still there. So
why would they fix them? Their features.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so. Yeah, nothing really changed there. And then I've heard that, of course, like I said, it supports 40K 60. The 4K 60 is barely even runnable unless you have like a really good PC and setup. So, it's like everything that they promised is just not working out. And that, if that's would have been all it was, whatever. Like it doesn't matter. But
at least
the fact
it's free, right?
Yeah,
and well, yes, but
I mean, I guess it's technically free,
but it's so there's some weird talks right now, and I'm not even completely sure what is happening, but apparently on PlayStation, I believe only PlayStation, it is not free to update yet.
Is it not? It's not free to the PlayStation Plus members. That's what
what it was supposed to be. I believe it was supposed to be free to PlayStation Plus members, but I think even updating the game, like you can't get a new copy of the PS5 version or something. I'm not entirely sure, but they haven't stated if it's just a bug or if it's intended yet that I know of. So
wait, are they gonna? They're not gonna charge for it. They're just saying that you can't get it, right? Please don't tell me they're charging PlayStation players to upload.
I don't think they'll charge. No. They shouldn't be, right? No, not Xbox hasn't.
I'm rolling through it to try to figure out what's going on.
Steam hasn't. It could just be a bug right now that it's not available to upgrade for free yet. But
they can't get the updates. They can't get the
it.
update for free. I'm not entirely sure if that just means that they can't download it or what.
Right. It's kind of up in the air right now of what's really happening with the Sony side of things.
It does show that the PS5, the PlayStation Plus Extra version, because you do get Fallout 4 with PS Plus Extra, it will not have the upgraded version available with it.
Right.
So you have to have owned the game prior to get the upgrade. Like actually owned it.
So that's why people were confused, like if that was intended or not, because it was everyone thought it was going to be like free to own or to receive pretty much. So don't really know on that front of things. You got something?
So, as spotted by IGN, everything is working as intended for PlayStation users with a purchased version of Fallout 4 tier tied to their PSN account. They're able to access the free PS5 upgrades as expected, but those with a PlayStation Plus version in their libraries are not, and are listed instead seeing the PS5 edition listed at $15.99. So there's not notable contrast. Yeah, so they're essentially going to force you to purchase it if you're playing on the PS5.
If you haven't previously owned it on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, they're trying to make them purchase it. I don't know if that's a bug.
Right,
seems like a weird one.
That's what we don't know yet.
That's kind of weird on PlayStation's end, but
Bethesda's end.
Talk about
I don't know.
Talk about the let's talk about the big thing here aside from this, right? Is that it's fucked. All like no, I don't know if it's all, but it is
right now. Most modding, a lot of modding
of the fucking mods.
Because what it fucked really is NVS or not. I always say NVS. Fallout 4 script extender, which is the priority.
The architecture that all
architecture of all the mods, exactly. So that runs all the mods. So right now that is fucked because of the new update. So until F4SE gets updated to the new patch, every mod right now is unstable and not working. Most mods.
But that's only if you are playing the new update version, right? Can you not update it?
Yep, you could not update it, but you would have had to really catch it.
You had to have done that before it
updated. So like me and some others, we stopped auto updates, and
I don't know that.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I don't know, that doesn't really surprise me because every time Fallout or any of these games fucking update, it breaks every mod in existence. So
it's never, I don't think broken the script extender though. Like they've always been on top of it. It's
broken the script extender. No, it's broken the script extender. It's just they're extremely quick about updating the script extender.
Right. They've always been on top of it, but
yeah. So
I mean, the worst part about this is it's affected major projects. One we have listed here is Fallout London's project, which I believe was stated to be releasing soon. Like I thought it was supposed to be releasing like within this month, but obviously now that this happened, they have stated that they're delaying it indefinitely, which I have hopes that I doubt that's going to be the case. Really, I mean, if you know anything about modders, they surpass all of it.
I'm curious if that's less to do with the update and more to do with maybe Bethesda kind of told them knock it off. Maybe
no, it's the update they've stated. They even have come out and have been yelling at Bethesda, which this part is a bit silly. In the end of the day, Fallout London is a mod made by, pretty much volunteers. It's nothing commissioned. So they are coming to Bethesda being like, hey, you guys should have gave us some sort of heads up, some sort of like notice that you were going to be doing this. So you didn't fuck all of our shit up.
They did. I mean, they did. They said they were updating it.
But they didn't go directly to Fallout London. They wanted like a DM pretty much saying, hey, you guys got to get on this, but I think that's a bit silly. I don't think,
but on the other hand, like with Bethesda games being so reliant on mods,
right?
I mean,
it's not a crazy thought because also Bethesda has hired modders and you look at the creation, they've hired modders for the Creation Club too. So I'm sure all of those guys were in the loop, but all of the standalone ones weren't.
The official mods were in the loop.
Yeah. So
here's part of the kicker that I think why the modders for Fallout London is a little on the pissed off side is because they knew that the game was they knew the update was coming. Right. They didn't know. Like, I don't think I don't know if they technically knew exactly when
until they announced it with the show.
And
I also don't think that they knew exactly what the extent of the update was going to change to.
And
no, I think we
of,
knew it was going to be a next gen update, which
but they didn't know it was going to break the fucking
yeah, but they didn't know how far like the next gen was going to change the fundamentals of the game.
They also didn't know if it was I had to imagine they didn't know it was going to be like forced versus like, you could choose to do it or not do it or whatever else, all those kind of things. But here's the kicker, right? Fallout London, they chose April 23rd to come out because it's St. George's Day, which is like
that's right. And that's what it was.
It's a big day for England and all of those types of things. And so they were like, okay, we're gonna launch on the 23rd, and then this update comes out, and then they're like, what the fuck, man? Like this is
just totally fucked all their shit up.
It kind of feels a little personal.
Sad, man. It's sad because Fallout London did look good from what we had seen.
Well, man, I'm like I said, I still doubt this is the end of Fallout London. Let's be real. They put all this time into it.
I don't think it is either.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. I for anyone who thinks that like this indefinite delay is actually going to be indefinite, I think this is just indefinite until it's updated. Really,
it's just an indefinite stop until they can figure out what exactly what exactly they need to change to make it work, more or less.
And they'll be on it. Like you said, this has happened before, and they are
modders
usually on top of things.
Extremely quick. Like the modders for that kind of stuff within like hours usually have it fixed. So
yeah.
Way to fuck up your 75,000% rise in player base.
Yeah, that's the saddest part is like just the amount of like hype and the amount of people that have been going back to Fallout games recently, and then for them to have this bluster.
It was really so funny to see the day that they announced this update. When the show launched, everyone was like, yeah, hoorah, let's go, we've always wanted a next gen. And then the next day when everyone realized, oh shit,
everyone's like, boo.
Fuck you.
Let's be real here too. Fallout 4 is only fun with mods anyway, so there's really no reason to play Fallout 4 until they get this fixed anyway.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
We're also talking about updating a 10-year-old fucking game. Like, I don't know. This is stupid.
I don't know. I'm seeing some people say, well, why didn't they just go with a like a Skyrim treatment, just give it a new enhanced version or whatever? But then
do you want to have Fallout? Yeah, I was about to say, do you want to have Fallout versions for your fucking TV now? Like, do you want it for your
refrigerator,
your phone,
I can play it on my microwave,
your Steam Deck, your Stream Deck?
Don't put it on Nintendo though, because God knows if you fucking bring it to Nintendo,
that's how you get those.
Give me a Fallout 4 demake, bro.
Oh man, I want Fallout 4. I want Fallout 64. Right? I guess that's it to 464. I don't know. 404 error. Anyway, all right. Let's talk a little bit about something else. So I don't even know.
Bad or good?
It's fine. It's
okay.
It's fine. It's not. I don't think it's neither here nor there. As we talked about, No Rest for the Wicked. And essentially the dev is saying that it really is defending kind of the early access because again, it's getting some hate. We talked about it. We talked about the early access and why it's getting some hate and, all of those types of things. And essentially the dev is kind of saying like, look, we're not even a week into early access. And he's saying like, it's already pretty clear that going with early access is one of the best decisions we've made. And kind of saying like, I think as games become more and more complex and sophisticated, we'll see some form of early access happening more and more often. Speaking from our own experience, there is no way we could have ever shipped Wicked 1.0 without being able to see all the data, and we're seeing now and getting all of the feedback from its users, and I mean actual users, not a focus testing group. So. And then he basically said that Dark Souls would have benefited from early access. Could you imagine?
That's where that gets me. Yeah, that statement to me is wild, man.
Yeah, he said a world-renowned developer. Like I don't know.
He said his exact words are: "Imagine Dark Souls 1. We would have been in early access instead of from rushing to ship a boxed product in a somewhat unfinished state. they probably would have been able to look at the second half of the game and still fully form and polish the less polished areas like Lost Izalith, etc. I don't know.
This is Bill territory, right?
Yeah, Bill,
I mean, Lost Izalith was shit, and there's definitely issues with Dark Souls 1, but I don't know.
What do you think?
Were they vast enough for early access to have helped? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was
also so long ago. Early access wasn't even like really that prevalent.
I have two thoughts about this. I do think that early access can help game development because a larger test group is always good.
Yeah.
It's weird with single player games, but it can still benefit that regard.
We've been seeing a bit
it
more
also
and
helps
more with
more
games
independent developers because they can get that payment up front with the game and continue like the development process with the game with that enhanced budget.
Yeah,
I don't really like this guy's vibe of throwing other games under the bus with his like you can defend your early access choice all day without throwing other titles under the bus.
Maybe he saw
Especially
Stellar
when
Blades
your game's being compared to Dark Souls, so it's a weird flex.
Saw Stellar Blades dev and was like, oh man, I could do the same thing, except he went the opposite way with these. Like, I'm not going to commend Nier Automata. I'm going to fucking shit on Dark Souls.
My only problem
what he was going for here, dude. Like, cause this like the Dark Souls community is so
protective.
No, I wouldn't even say they're just compassionate. They have passion for their game. You know, even if Dark Souls 1 was a little like, you know, not great or whatever. I can't imagine he wants to piss off the Dark Souls community, especially when your game is so heavily like, you know, it's being viewed as a Dark Souls isometric. You don't want to piss off the community that everyone is seeing your game with, you know?
Yeah. My only concern with early access and stuff is and we're seeing it less and less because they're kind of getting ousted from the industry, is games that like perpetually stay in early access.
That's what I was going to say.
Obviously, this is not the case of that. So
my biggest problem is like the games that just continuously stay in early access. One of the biggest ones,
DayZ, bro.
DayZ, but one of the biggest ones that came out recently is 7 Days to Die. Yeah, they're literally going into 1.0, and they've been in early access for like 8 years.
They've been in early access, I think, longer than DayZ standalone, and that was a long runner too.
So that's my biggest problem. Is like, yes, I do agree that like, yes, some games could benefit from early access, but like, I almost feel like early access is a little bit of a crutch in some instances. Like, just get the fucking game done. Like,
it's so
weird. Take the time that you need to develop the game, and then release it when it's done.
It's so weird.
That's the biggest thing that I have
in the case of like 7 Days to Die is like that game could have been 1.0 like 5 updates, 6 updates ago. It's like
it could have.
The game, there's really no reason for them to not.
There's a
1.0.
point. There's a point in the game's development cycle,
or are they scared to go out of it? It's like, what is your like point here? You know.
So for
there's
reference,
a point in the game's. Sorry, there's a point in the game's life cycle where at some point you have to fucking pull the trigger. You have to release it. It's done. It's done enough to be released, right? Like that's. I don't know. I have issues with early access.
Like early access is supposed to be to collect money to fund the game.
Further fund the game. Yeah.
7.
And I for the most part have no issues with early access in the majority of cases.
But I don't know.
Mostly indie. Like I can get down with like supporting indie early access.
100% indie.
That's where it really should lie. Like
indie and AA studios. Like I think.
and quadruple A and quintuple.
Quintuple, sextuple. For reference, to answer, to give a little bit of understanding, 7 Days to Die, 10 years. 10 years early access.
Yep.
Only beat by one other game, Project Zomboid, 10 years, 3 months.
I didn't realize that game was has been out that long. Wow, fuck. That's old.
But wait. But one thing with Project Zomboid, at least they have and I'm not trying to say this is a cop out, but they have a reason for being in that early access for so long.
They went through a total rehaul.
In the middle of their development, they completely rehauled the entire game. They completely redid the systems.
Not even the middle. That was like 3 years ago. That was like
it was relatively recently, but it was a complete rehaul. So like that's I can kind of give them a little bit of a shove or a pass, but like
just a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for me, early access, I've always felt early access is weird on single player. Like even when like Hades did early access, weird. Dead Cells doing early access though, it's one I love it. Like still weird. And now we're seeing early access for like Hades doing, like Hades 2 is doing a early access technical trial. Like it's weird. It's like
demo, wasn't it?
Like, it's like something extra on top of like, oh, you can do like, and I don't want to just, I know that Hades 2 did a technical trial, and I don't know if they charge for it or what, but there are games out there that are now saying like, hey, you can pay to get into the technical trial, and then early access when it comes out, which is like, oh, so now we're going even farther of saying money up front. It's a weird space. I mean, I like early access games, but I don't.
Well, it's just, again, like we said, it just depends on the game and the company.
Well, yeah, there's some chat there's some conversation going on in the chat with like it's being used now as like a paid playtest or like a paid play tester role. Essentially, you're paying them to basically fix their or at least test their game out and tell them what they need to do. And I don't think that I've never been okay with that. I want to go back to the days when we had a game that released, and granted, it might have been broken, but it was done.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
at least you bought what you got.
The scary thing about this is that we haven't hit, because you think about this. We saw the wave with Kickstarter, right? Kickstarter, we had the wave where you get access to the stuff early, and Kickstarter.
I think Kickstarter was even riskier than early access, though.
Right, but it didn't start like that.
You're buying into a thought.
It was but it was very altruistic at the beginning. It was very like
it was
altruistic. It was, hey, you're gonna buy this. You're kickstarting it. Once we get, once it gets funded, like, cool, I'm gonna get XYZ, and that was the thought. But then it became a scummy, shitty platform, and I'm just waiting for the rug pulls to start happening on early access. And we've seen little bits of them, but we've also seen where
they haven't like come out. Are we talking about the day before? Or
no,
what else has there been that I can't think of?
There have been games that have gone into early access, you've charged for them, like they've charged for early access, and then they never came out. Day before never charged.
They never charged though. That's the thing.
Day before never charged.
Illyria was a big one. There was a couple of zombie survivals for the
what was the Wars? Not Wars. Was it War Z? What the fuck was that?
Z and Survivor Stories. There were so many of those.
Infection.
Nikia or
anyways.
But yeah,
whatever his name was.
So I'm just waiting for that to start happening, where it's like, hey, you're gonna, you're getting rug pulled left and right.
I could totally see that happening in the foreseeable future, dude. I mean, the only thing I will say, at least right now, that's good with early access is like you still have that option to refund the game as long as you don't surpass the refund.
They've also Steam just changed their refund policies to benefit, I think, more of the
early access
side
of things.
Yeah.
So that's actually that was actually one thing that I did want to talk about. A lot of people are stating that like they changed the fact that you can't refund things that you've put a lot of time into in early access. That's not the case. It's like the games that release and give you like a couple of days worth of head start. That's what they've changed.
Right.
It's not like early access time. Like they're not stating that like if you went and bought 7 Days to Die and put 700 hours into it before it even releases, you can no longer refund it. They're stating that like if 7 Days to Die were to do that, and then on top of that charge like a 2-day head start for everybody, right? If you put 70 hours into that 2-day head start, at that point you wouldn't be able to refund it.
I thought part of that too. I thought part of that too was also leaked or rumored that that this is their next step into also making it so that early access games have a longer window for refunds. Obviously, it's not going to be 500, 600 hours. But they do have a larger window than just a 2-hour time frame.
That would be nice.
And
they already have a larger window. Yeah, the early access titles already have a larger window. You can refund them no matter how much time you've put into it up until the point that they release, essentially, as far as I know.
Well, but then what about games like 7 Days to Die?
I don't know if that's
You
true.
can't
I tried
refund-
refunding some stuff that
can't-
was
yeah.
that, and I didn't get the refund.
Pretty
I would like to
that's
see
the case currently,
the
but I
actual
could be
notes on that,
wrong,
like
but
how, because I gotta imagine like there's got to be a cutoff somewhere in that early access day. If you buy an early access game, put like say even 50 hours into it, I can't imagine they're gonna be like, yeah, you get a refund. You obviously didn't like this game. You just spent a casual 50 hours.
Well,
I
I
don't
thought like the
know.
person that played Fallout 76 and hated it. He only put 35 hours into it, and then said it was not fun.
Oh yeah, right.
The comments. So
I could be wrong on that. As far as
I would like to see more about that.
As far as I was aware, and I've refunded a couple of games that I put like 20, 30 hours into that have been early access and gotten a full refund for it.
That's just shocking. I wonder if it's dependent on the actual developer allowing it or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
it's still so I'm reading the guidelines now. It is still a 2 hour it's still 2 hours.
Yeah, the guideline hasn't changed.
Yeah.
It's just they're now making that part of the early
So-
access trial.
Right here. So when you purchase a title on Steam prior to release date, the 2-hour playtime limit for refunds will apply, except for beta testing, which is what most early
Is
access
that classified
titles.
as early access though? Like
Yeah, but the 14-day period for refunds will not start until the release of the date, or the release date. For example, if you purchase a game that is in early access or advanced access, which advanced access is the access that you get for like 2 days early head start, right? That's it. That's what they call it. Any playtime will count against the 2-hour refund limit. So that's what they've changed. Okay, I was incorrect about that. So if you
Okay.
pre-purchase a title which is not playable prior to the release date, you can request a refund at any time prior to release date, the release of that title, and the standard 14-day 2-hour refund period will apply starting on the game's release date. So
Silly clicked on a topic that we're going to talk about next. Okay, well there you go. There's your Steam stuff, your news, and also early access news. All right. Well, I showed this, and we'll go ahead and talk about it. Microsoft's dominating the PlayStation Store, or best-selling games list.
this made me laugh, dude.
This is
that's funny.
I don't know.
I think this is good. I think this is awesome.
Oh
like,
yeah,
this is great. Like the fact that we're seeing that a game from games from the competitor or the enemy or whatever you want to call it, it doesn't fucking matter at this point, are doing well on PlayStation. This just kind of proves the whole game. PlayStation players don't want to play fucking PlayStation games or Xbox games. Apparently they do.
What?
They've always have. They've just been closeted.
So the 7 titles, 7 out of the 25 titles are Microsoft, and those 7 titles are Call of Duty, Overwatch 2, Sea of Thieves, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Minecraft, and Grounded.
You knew Sea of Thieves was gonna be huge.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves saw like 40,000 people or some shit.
Everybody wanted to play Sea of Thieves.
When they announced that,
on
that was a
PlayStation.
huge announcement, dude.
That was big.
I didn't think anybody cared about Sea of Thieves that much.
No, Sea of Thieves
it's
is extremely
huge
popular,
still, and this only just blew it up even more, dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dude,
To be fair though, Call of Duty and Overwatch 2
That's what I was about to say.
because
Yeah,
of the acquisitions. I don't really count those as much.
You still got to take into consideration, again, even if you take those 2 away, that's 5 games. They're huge. Like that's a good thing to see.
I mean, you can take Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 away too, because they were on the PlayStation Store before the acquisition as well. The only ones that are really factored in here are Grounded, Minecraft, and Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, those were the big ones that Microsoft did port over, but
still a lot.
Yeah,
it's still
three
it's good.
Microsoft-based games.
You know what? Games everywhere.
Yeah,
exactly. This is good things. I hope Sony doesn't look at it and go, motherfuckers.
No, I don't think it's a bad thing.
Well, and I think it's going to be I think it's going to be the exact opposite too. If they start bringing stuff over to the Xbox store, like it's going to be great to see the fact that like if they bring,
I don't know, Sony will do that one, man.
The Last of Us over to it. That would
get it on PC. Insane. I don't know if we're going to get it on fucking Xbox, but maybe. All right, well, guys, we started this cast with a big fuck you, and damn it, we're gonna end this cast with a big fuck you. So, Escape from Tarkov, like these guys, when you talk about blowing their fucking shit up, right? Like, to be clear, Escape from Tarkov, like Battle State Games, like they are known to just kind of like their player base are super salty. Like they just are, man. Like they are like Destiny players, and I know that I'm gonna invoke hate, and I don't care. Call me the fat hate
You're
guy,
just trying
the
to piss
skinny hate
everybody
guy.
off.
Like
Right.
you say anything about Destiny, and like even though people hate fucking Destiny, they will hate you more for hating their game.
This is the episode of hate.
But Battle State, you know, Tarkov players are the exact same way,
Yeah,
and
they're ravenous.
this one they deserve to be fucking pissed about.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is
Oh,
this
yeah.
is some dog shit that they did, and I'm really. Do you think that they are going to back out? Like, do you think they're going to reverse this?
This might be the one they do. I think.
Like,
no,
because they.
I don't think they care.
don't?
I say they have not
I don't
reversed
think they give a
anything
fuck.
else.
Well,
and
but
I don't think
nothing
they
has
care.
been blown to this proportion of like outrage.
Well,
since.
you see, the deal is though is they'll bitch, moan, and complain, and then still buy it.
yeah.
They won't make the they won't
may
make
be
the
right.
argument with their wallet. And
You may be right about that.
Let's talk about what so again, people that are not viewing this live are able to understand. So Escape from Tarkov had a EOD edition. It was Edge of Darkness edition. That Edge of Darkness edition, if I'm not mistaken, I think was $150 or $120. It was $100 plus.
You bought it, didn't you?
Yes, I did. But I bought it on discount. It was $100 plus, right?
there's a $250 price tag.
No,
No, that's the new
no,
one.
No, that's the new one.
That's the
Not
that's the
new
new one.
That's not the EOD. EOD was,
okay.
I believe,
Edge
150.
of Darkness. It was at the time before this their
I
top.
think it was 150
model.
Too,
Yeah,
Cause
yeah.
When I was looking at it, I was like, I'm not
125.
paying
125.
125.
Okay, there we go.
$125.
$125.
Either
Um,
way, that's way too much. Again, talk about early access. Why
So-
125? Why would
yeah,
you pay that?
so
I mean,
if
that's
you're
that,
not
to be fair
effectively
though,
a
that's
season.
not
Well, it was supposed to be a season pass throughout the
right.
lifespan of the
Exactly.
Right.
That's not ridiculous if you look at other premium and gold editions of games. That just saying. But
I don't know. $70 fucking horses would say otherwise. I'm just saying we gave them shit for that.
no, that was a bit different though. That I mean. Either way, I'm just saying there's
Okay.
even like Borderlands games and shit like they have like those premium editions. I don't know if Borderlands had a
They did,
high
and
enough
it
price point
included
as this.
the 2-year season
I thought
pass.
so. Yeah, so like this stuff it includes a bunch of content like that, and it is
well,
supposed
it
to include
was
content.
supposed to.
Supposed to.
So
Right.
the EOD edition gave you a bunch of in-game things that were already like, you know, like the whole thing about Tarkov is it's a struggle. Like it's a struggle game, and you make slow increments, get your shit back. You know, and you know, you increase, you know, you build you basically kind of almost like roguelike elements. You build your character out, you get bigger items, get bigger stashes, get bigger guns, loot and shoot, all this other stuff. All right. So with the EOD edition, you kind of already got the max carrying capacity, like your stash was
and
already maxed out, and
or
you got
not
a gamma, you got a bigger case
Gamma,
that you were
yeah.
gamma case that was able to, even if you died, that stuff came back with you, so you could put extra items in there. You could unlock that within game, right? You could unlock all of that kind of stuff within game, but it was a grind.
it was like
Pay for convenience.
to advance,
Right.
pay for convenience. That's
So,
it.
but the kicker on that was that by purchasing the EOD, you were also supposed to get all free access to all subsequent DLCs, right?
Yeah.
That was one of the things that was on there. They removed the EOD edition
It's not even
completely,
there anymore.
right? You can't buy it. And now they have come out with this edition, which is called the Unheard edition. Stupid fucking name, by the way. Unheard
When I
edition.
saw that, I thought it was just people saying like, "There's an unheard of edition coming
It's
out."
unheard of.
Nope.
I thought that's what people meant.
$150? That's unheard of.
Yeah.
This is a $250
$250.
edition.
I'm sorry, $250.
250. Yeah.
And it has the Edge of Darkness, all of the stuff that the Edge of Darkness has, but also comes with a unique melee weapon, an increased, a more increased stash size, an expanded PMC pockets, so like the gamma case, more slots in game.
Increased mail retention time.
Yep, increased mail retention time.
Wait, what?
So
Wow.
you
What
get
the
like
fuck does that mean?
That so you're able to pretty much insure your items in the game and then get them back if you die in raid and get them back.
I thought they were just giving
through
you
the mail
Viagra.
system.
yes, they give you Cialis.
Exactly. So I believe
you walk around with a rager.
Erectile
yeah, I believe what
your
that
character is just walking
is,
around just full staff.
Is well, instead of decreasing the time to get those items back. I believe.
Yes, that's what that is. You basically get your items back faster. With that. But here's the other thing. Right, there is a PvE co-op online and offline mode that can be played that directly affects your character. Like your character that you take in the PvE mode goes into the PvP mode.
What, dude? That's gonna get so.
And that's only for this edition. That's only for this edition. That's it.
So it's pay to win.
Yes.
So I heard about that.
Well,
I did not.
Yeah, pay to play,
pay to win in the PvP mode, dude. What?
Yep.
Because I thought that was just gonna be like an offline play with like friends, you know, like a separate thing.
Nope.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Dude.
So yeah. So Greystone Warfare. How about that game? That game's coming out.
So that's what I was gonna say, dude. Literally, they did this at the worst possible time. So. Not only did Greyzone Warfare just, I think, end their like very successful playtest that many people were, raving about. Also, another game I think just came out into like a beta or another playtest called like Breakout Arena or something like that, which is like a new pretty much Tarkov contender.
It was the one that Sin sent us the other day, wasn't it?
Not the
single player Tarkov, the PvE Tarkov.
No. I want to say.
Regardless, my question is Tarkov even out of early access?
No.
Have they released?
No, they're still early access.
No.
Jesus, dude, are you
still early access? Still doing this? Still
$250 for an early access title?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
So
they haven't even the worst time to do this.
They haven't even fucking like stabilized the Tarkov Arena shit. That was that mode, and they still haven't even stabilized that.
They still haven't even combined the maps like they said they were going to do either. Have they?
Nope. There's not one persistent world yet. All of that kind of stuff still does not exist.
Why would you purchase this?
People are going to do it. They are going to make a shit ton of money.
Like. Oh my god, dude. That baffles me. I at least thought that they were like done, like they were out of development. $250 is like the balls of a fucking company to be like, yeah, we're already released. You're gonna pay us $250, not the balls of a company that's like, yeah, we're still in early access. Pay us $250, please.
Yep.
What?
Wild, man.
That's Ubisoft style.
They don't give two fucks.
Just wait until it goes even higher.
At least Ubisoft gives you a little bit of lube when
they're gonna get to Star Citizen level, start buying $1,000, $4,000 hideouts and shit.
That's crazy, man.
None at all.
I think what really gets me too is like, I this would have been less of a blow if they would have kept the EOD edition with the season pass.
I really hope that people don't purchase this. Like look in my eyes, people. You can do this now. I have a camera. Don't buy it.
Please. People are going to buy it, right?
Don't fucking buy it. Why would you do that? Do you hate yourself that badly? Give us money instead. Yeah. Give us the $250 instead of that.
We promise you that if you give us the $250, we will give you every episode for free. going forward, every episode for free. Until we decide to lock it behind a paywall.
We will use the money better than they will. I promise you.
Oh man! All right. Well, that wraps up the full-fledged news section.
Izzy, don't.
We are gonna go to we are gonna go to the quick hit section. This is the section, if you're new here, that we cover just very quickly, kind of go over topics that were in the news this week that again aren't major segments for us to spend a huge amount of time on. And there's actually quite a bit of quick hit news. So I'm going to be looking down at the camera or down here while I am going over said quick hit news. So the Lords of the Fallen released their free DLC, Master of Fate. Dude, whoever else, who is anonymous? What is this? Anonymous Anonymous. I don't even know how to say this name. It's some animal.
Axolotl?
No, what? No, I know that. It's the QUAGGA. I don't know who that is, but get out of here. See, what you guys don't see is that we have a doc.
It's axolotl.
No, I know how to say axolotl. There's
a squirrel.
Anonymous axolotl.
Anonymous squirrel
my
and
God.
anonymous
I've got
axolotl.
Yeah, I've got squirrel and quagga.
Or are you looking at quagga?
Quagga. Yeah, that.
Quagga.
Anyway, you guys don't see, but there's a doc that we use for all of this, and they're just in there just fucking highlighting shit, and it makes it so difficult to fucking read. So Lords of the Fallen, I'm gonna stop. I'm literally gonna stop the show. I can't. I will mute every single one of you. Now the quagga is saying "fuck you, Sin" with a little heart. So I know that is. I know who that is now. Lords of the Fallen released free DLC, Masters of Fate. That's out. Go take a look at that.
I thought this was just like them re-releasing it. Like they didn't really. I don't know. Maybe that.
No,
I just didn't click on it. But
yeah, it's a huge update. A lot of quality of life changes, a lot of gameplay changes. They're updating boss move sets. They're adding a bunch of armor and spells, and they're adding a role system where you can like do a permadeath mode, a enemy randomizer, a loot randomizer, a bunch of different modifiers that you can do for your runs. So literally be master of your fate.
All free.
It's
no,
really
it's
cool.
free.
All free. Yep.
Nice.
I'm forgetting the fucking name of it. Lords of the Fallen, didn't it not release in a really great state?
Yeah,
it did not, and they've supported it
That's what I
for a
thought,
while, and
yeah.
apparently it's really good right now. Like
That's
it's
good.
in the best state that it's been in.
Love to see it, man.
They finished up the roadmap. It's great.
Love to fucking see it, bro.
BlizzCon is no go for 2024, but they say it will come back in future years. So if you're planning on doing a BlizzCon 2024, don't. Meta is dropping the price of the Quest 2. It's $199. Phenomenal deal. You should go do it. Go pick one up. It's a great price. Kakao is shutting down ArcAge in the UK and US.
No, I mean, wait, sorry, I shouldn't say no. Shut it down. But it sucks that they're shutting it down.
Yeah,
I mean, that is really sad.
It's never good to see an MMO get shut down. We've all been burned.
This is my ArcAge, or ArcAge is my
WildStar.
WildStar
for you.
Really?
Get the
guys.
fuck
Yeah.
out of here. You had ArcAge for a
don't-
lot longer than I had WildStar.
No, I didn't. I didn't have the good ArcAge. My ArcAge that I wanted ended in beta. That was it.
Oh, okay. Maybe you had it less than, I don't know.
Yeah.
Embracer Group is splitting into 3 companies. Happy about that, except it's all under one CEO, so it's really not fucking 3 companies. It's just a smaller version of Embracer Group.
And one of them is named like
Middle
Warner
Earth.
Bros and Friends or something.
Yeah.
Middle Earth, what?
One is Middle Earth like production or something, like Middle Earth something.
Yeah.
Lord of the
on there.
Rings.
So Overwatch 2 makes mouse and keyboard bannable on console, but they can't even get the bans right, so it doesn't really matter. We already talked about the Steam refund page policy and pre-release clause. And then Roll20 is coming to Discord as an activity. I don't even know, what is Roll20? What is that?
It's a dice roller.
Yeah,
it's
it's used a lot for D&D campaigns online. It's pretty nice.
I don't. To call it just a dice roller too is really
No,
really not.
it's
It's
more
like
than that.
it's like a full like
It's
D&D
like board game
campaign.
setup.
Yeah.
Like they have all the facilities to
can-
run an entire campaign, add
you can
in
add
characters, maps,
everything. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, info sheets, all of it. You know, you could
They-
be a full
they did
DM in it.
They did it because their original voice was ass apparently,
Yeah.
and so they partnered up with Discord.
I remember
and
using
Discord
the,
was like,
original,
well,
the original
take
voice. It was
we'll
not
take care of the
great.
voice, and then we'll just make it an activity, so you can just do it straight from the
I'm
straight
actually
from the thing.
I'm really looking forward to it. I would love to do something
That's really
with
cool.
it. Yeah,
It's
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
if my group, if my my Pathfinder 2e group wasn't already using another program, we would probably use
Yeah, I mean,
so.
this makes it very convenient and
It does.
Super
accessible. So,
When does that
Nerds.
come? When are they doing that?
oh, I don't. I could scroll. I
think
don't know
it's-
if they actually
I think
released
it's
a
out here pretty
date.
quickly. Yeah.
I'm gonna get a lot of
Uh,
hate on that. I realize that. I shouldn't have said that. I just pissed off all the
April
Dungeons
30th.
and Dragons people.
There you go.
Nah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Not for everybody.
I'm one of those people, you asshole.
No, I love D&D. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Holy shit, man! Being a nerd is amazing. It's the way that you should be. All right. Well, that is episode 120 wrapped up tightly in a bow. Even though the industry said "fuck you," We did not. We love you all.
Well,
you should all go.
I just
did
said
say fuck you to Sin.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody can say fuck me, right? But not fuck you. So
we would never say fuck you
Hey,
specifically.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Oh man.
Tony.
I've lost control. Okay, are we done? I got, dude. You guys know I will fucking mute you in an instant to get through this fucking show if I have to.
Fuck you,
God damn it!
Sin.
All right, that's it. Where's it at? Mute. All right, he's done. He's muted. Okay. All right, I'm gonna unmute him. All right.
Oh,
anyway, guys,
you.
episode 120. Oh my God, really? Jesus Christ.
Episode 120.
We're done. It's out of here. We're goodbye. Come back next week, Thursday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Right here on YouTube and or Twitch. Catch the VODs. Go to your favorite podcasting app. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Take the TikToks and the YouTube Shorts and the Instagrams and the tweets and share them with your grandma. Share them with your grandma's grandma. Share them with your grandma's grandma, your friends, your family, the guy down at the liquor store, whoever you're buying your candy and or edibles from. Share them with everybody. All of them. Your school teachers.
Candy and edibles.
Yeah. Why not? Hey, share them with everybody because we are a podcast for all. Y'all have a wonderful night and week. We will see you next time. Bye.
Don't do drugs, please.